Hello, everybody. Hi, ladies.
Hello. Hi.
So, I work with these amazing ladies, and we were just having a meeting, and we were talking about this how to become money workbook class that I'm doing, and really just kind of excited about it, and wanted to come and do a Facebook Live. And for me, I mean, these ladies know this, but one of the things that I have really been I'm asking for a long time and, like, really turning it up lately is that I would really love to see everybody who desires a greater future, a greater world, like, who is really interested in a conscious world, to have money. The people that desire to have money, because money is an amazing tool for creating a greater future. And, so I created this How to Become Money Workbook class, kind of out of that request really is like, okay, what if we created a playground where we could really dive in and, actually create a lot more cash flow, a lot more revenue streams, a lot more wealth for people. And, for those of you guys who don't know, listening, who don't know what the How to Become Money Workbook is, it's an amazing tool from Access Consciousness that allows you to actually really get out of the separation that we do with money, where we make money something outside of ourselves, so that we can actually be the receiving and the abundance that we are, which is a huge part of what actually creates money coming into our world. So it's just this really cool tool that's been around for like 30 years, that changes things very dynamically in people's financial realities if they're willing to have that. So we're on today's, like, is it the 5th day or the 6th day today? Day
Day
5?
5.
Day 5 billion.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's still open for registration, and it's been amazing, really amazing so far. So, yeah, what do you guys like? We just had such a cool conversation about it. I was like, let's go live with this.
I'd say amazing and different. It's unlike any other workbook exercise that I've done before with this one. So, it's so unique and different because we're not like just getting together reading the book, but we're like intensely into it. And the daily lives that you do, Heather, are like so amazing, speaking to the energies, speaking to all of these different aspects of becoming money that are really helpful in our own, like individually in our own journeys. Like I wonder, Teresa, Lalani, how's it for you guys?
Well, I said to Heather earlier, it's like for me, when she said on day 1, it's not like a standard book club where we just read books, but it's like just make the demand of yourself to go through the book every single day. And then we will, chat about it, on the daily lives. But when Heather said, like, it's like really step up and put the effort in from your side to do it if you really want to change your financial reality. And especially with the ask that Heather said, if all the humanoids just have all the money that they desire to create a better world, it's like, really, if we just put the demand in from our side, we can just change it all so easily. And that's when I decided, yes, I'm just stepping into this and really taking action every day to listen to the audiobook. And it's clearly just all the points of view that we have around money that we're just clearing every single day. And then, of course, the Facebook Live facilitations is just like amazing. That's just out of this world.
Yeah, the format is just so different. And as an X-Men, it works for me so well. Like it in other workbooks I've done, which have been just dynamic. And with this one, when you get to go through it every day, especially using the audiobook, which is something new for me. I bought it just for this class. And oh my gosh, like the change is it's just so different, and it really works for me because the format, if you guys don't know, is basically we're listening to the audiobook every day, and everyone's doing it differently. But what I'm doing, I guess, is listening to the audiobook, going through the questions and really being with it, as opposed to like, okay, I'll do one chapter today and one tomorrow. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I do stuff that way sometimes, I wanna go further one day and then, I don't wanna do the full chapter the next, and
Yeah.
this way, it's like, boom, and it's all right there, and it's just been, so magical, and I can perceive it all building on top of each other too.
Yeah, it's so cool. Well, I really wanted it to be I wanted it to be an intensive, like a real deep dive, but also in a way that people could really tailor it to what works for them. So it's not a book club, you know. I don't really do book clubs because I don't to me it's kind of boring to get together and read a book. Like I mean, reading books in general is not something I do a whole lot of. I really prefer to listen while I'm hiking or ice skating or driving or, you know, like I love to multitask. So I'm like, if I have to sit and read, then, you know, I don't do so well with it. So, you know, we have these different formats that the book comes in. It comes, you know, you can have a hard copy, you can have the audiobook, and you can, with the audiobook, you can speed it up, you can slow it down. Like that's really fun. Um, and so what I wanted to do for me is I was like, I want to do the book every single day because there is something about like when you, I mean, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, he wrote the book, he channeled the book 30 years ago. He says, do it 100 times and you'll have $100 million. And, you know, that's sort of, it's like, it's not like this is a guarantee, you know, it's not like that, but it's just like, do it, like immerse yourself in these conversations because it's such a different conversation. It's not like this is how you create money, this is how you know, it's like no, you've got to really examine all of your considerations around money because those are the things that actually are like stand between you and money. And and it's been amazing because I've done this book probably 30, 40, 50 times already. I've done it a lot. I've worked with it a lot. And the way that we're doing it now is like, so it's basically my invitation is, you know, do the book every day if you can, or do a chapter a day if you'd like. Do it however you want to do it. At least answer the questions every day because it takes 5 minutes to do that, you know. Because there's 13 questions in the beginning and then you can listen to the book and it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours depending on how fast you play it. But then I go on Facebook Live in the group and I'm, you know, just pulling stuff out that pops to talk about. And the cool thing too is that this book was written 30 years ago before we had the clearing statement in Access. So we're adding that. And we also have this thing of POVADs now, right? The points of view that you're avoiding or defending that hold something in place. So we're adding that now and running clearings about what you're defending and what you're avoiding and adding current tools into this, you know, timeless tool, but and current conversations and just, you know, wherever it pops to go. And wow, has it been fun to play with and be like, whoa, let's talk about this today. You know, let's take this one sentence and extrapolate and like totally change everybody's realities around this today. You know, that's been so cool.
And one of the things that I find most amazing about that format is that you are never behind. So we're not reading the book in a linear way. I know some of us are like doing it every day. Some of us are like, you know, doing the questions every day, reading a chapter every day, and, you know, mix and match of all the different ways of playing with it. But like it's yesterday, for example, I wasn't there on the live. And this morning when I woke up, there wasn't a sense of I'm missing anything. I just played it and I did my questions and I'm like, cool. So that to me was like so wonderful that, you know, you can never really be behind in this book. You're doing it the way you're doing it. And it's so much fun.
Yeah, just jump into the stream wherever you are on that day and receive, you know? Yeah. So I'm curious because for me, and I know we don't want to make this super long, but I've had so many ahas about money and how I function with money from doing this book. And, you know, like we said, today's just day 5. We're going for 14 days. And then there's already an extension in the works because I'm like what I said on the meeting earlier today is I want to keep going with this and the advanced How to Become Money Workbook. I'm like, let's keep going until people have dynamically expanded their money flows. Like, let's really get this, like the flow of money increased and moving and different and more ease. And I have this sense that that's really possible with what we're doing and how we're doing it. And it's $95. I mean, it's ridiculously accessible. So I mean, there's so many like little phrases or sentences or questions that are just rocking my world where I'm like, wow, I didn't realize I had that point of view. I didn't realize I had that point of view. I didn't realize I had that point of view. And when you have clarity about the points of view that you have about money, you use the tools of access to change that, to get rid of it. And you get rid of something that stands between you and having money. And consistently, systematically, day in, day out, over and over and over and over, that's how you create a different financial reality. So I'm just curious, ladies, what is like, are there any things that, would be maybe a contribution for you to share about, something you've had an aha about or that you're becoming aware of with that?
Yeah. I mean, for me, not viewing money as like going out anymore, like, oh, it's gone now, and asking, we had this conversation in the series, but it was like, when we ask before we buy something, this is a tool. If I buy you, will you make me money? And then we view that as money going out. It kind of is like it's not congruent. And so when we view that instead as this is going to make me money and it has its job and you're allowing it to fulfill its job to you, it just creates something so different. And I never even thought about that before. And that was just like, I think that was on like day 2 or 3. And I'm like, holy shit, like even just that can change your money reality completely.
Yeah, totally. I love that one.
That was exactly my example. Where you said like you bought a piece of furniture, and if you get the sense that money is just out, it's lost now, but the furniture piece did say, yes, I will contribute to your money flows, by bringing money into your world even more exponentially. And you think, oh, there goes the money, I wasted money, or I just spent money. You just stop that thing for doing its job of what it's supposed or what it promised it will do or contribute to your world. And I'm like, oh my word, how many times do we do that?
Yeah.
We get a clear yes, they will eat, the objects will, or whatever you buy will contribute to your life. But then we always just go to the linear and it's like, oh, now my bank balance just dropped. And then you stop the flow just there, right in its tracks.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that conversation was really a huge contribution.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's how dynamic, that's how powerful our points of view are. I mean, we really don't realize that, but they are. We're constantly, I mean, and the thing is like, the way I looked at it is I was like, I could easily take 2 hours every day and be present with this conversation by listening to the book. And, and I, that's the beauty of listening to it is I do it when I'm driving or whatever. But because I was like, because how much time do I spend and how much energy, like mental energy, do I spend every day thinking about money or like figuring it out or, da 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 da. Like it's such a huge, we make it a huge part of our world. And it's like, why not use all of that energy and like mental, masturbation for like when I get even more present with what I'm already doing and choose to be with it in a really different way.
Yeah. Yeah. What I absolutely love, in addition to that and 10,000 other things that I want to say about in this life, but I'm starting to become a more aware about everywhere I separate myself from money. And, that entire thing, and which is really huge for me because I don't think on a day to day basis we think about things like that. But when we're so actively engaging every single day and everyone's sharing their, things that pop for them and, with the daily lives and everything, it's like it's right there in front of you, like all your points of views and everywhere. Like, oh my gosh, that's, and a lot of times in just the acknowledgement of that, what also comes up is it's not my point of view. Like, what the hell have I been living from? So like it's such a beautiful unveiling of all the lies that I've been holding on to around the whole money, and even like how much more I have than I acknowledge and I'm grateful for. And so it's just blowing my world apart, this way of playing with this workbook.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's been so much fun. I mean, it's really just like, for me, it's been this amazing creative play with these conversations that I've read so many times, I've heard so many times, and I'm like, oh, you know. We have some comments. Cassandra said, I've had tons of aha moments, one of them being my points of view toward work. I just flipped it. Now I'm like, how much joy can I have with this? I'm actively choosing to function from the space of joy. I now see how dynamically my point of view creates my money flows. Yep. So true. And it's like, if you study this book and you study, really, it's not about studying the book, but it's about studying how you function in regards to all this stuff and what it invites you to do. It's like, you can, like, there's so many pieces that you get to start to pull where you're like, that doesn't need to be there, that doesn't need to be there, that doesn't need to be there, that doesn't, and then you be more space, which is actually the sort of like energetics of how money shows up, which is why it's called the How to Become Money Workbook. So I want to just honor everybody's time here because I know we need to go. But thank you, ladies, for coming. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This class is totally open for registration still. It's $95. It's ridiculously cheap. My sense is, like, if you would like to change your money flows, you can with this. It's just a choice, and we're really diving into what that is. And we've only just begun, and we're going to keep going. So I think it's heathernichols.com/become money.
Yep. I'll put the link in there too.
Okay, awesome. And yeah, ease, joy, and glory, baby. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
There.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you.